Hello again. Welcome to another edition of CropLife Retail Weeks. Paul Schrimpf with Sfiligoj once again. It's our last soiree here before the Thanksgiving holiday. We will not be reporting from the Thanksgiving table about turkey or stuffing or anything else.
Or Black Friday, if that's what you're into for the holidays.
Definitely not me. I'll be sitting at home, probably having a beer and watching football with mostly the rest of the guys, hopefully. But I wish that for you as well. But the next week after that, I'm actually going to stay home this year. But you're heading to the Ag Retailers Association meeting. Got some things planned there.
Yep, going to be in Orlando. A couple of the highlights for myself. Going to be moderating our 7th annual State of the Industry Roundtable discussion with a couple of key retailers and visitors from Brazil and maybe other countries as well, possibly. And also be handing out the CropLife Iron 2016 Product of the Year trophy. You can be watching our video in early December to see who the winner was and how they felt about receiving the top award.
Terrific. And of course, December also marks the time when we're releasing the CropLife 100 issue and information, which will probably be online maybe
December 1st.
Yeah, December 1st. Some of that will be online with the information. And there was a print product will come out within a week after that. So all of it's put to bed, and it's good to go, and the information will be there. And there's a lot of people that I know get excited about seeing where the rankings are and what the big news is. But and Eric is the man. He's the tallier of all information and the gatherer of all the data. So any big surprises or anything to note going into next year?
Yeah, actually a couple of things to watch for in the issue. I mean, number one, the seed sales were pretty strong for 2016. I know seed the last few years have been up one year, down the next. This year was an up year, and I believe it was up around just under 5%, if memory serves. The other thing that surprised is I knew fertilizer was going to be down, Paul. It's been dropping the last couple of years, but looks like for 2016 sales for fertilizer are going to be off $1 billion. So that was a major hit for that category. And actually you can read about I know the last few years we've had a nice little tight race between the folks at AGCO and John Deere to see who has more sprayers in the ag retailer fleets of the top CropLife 100. And you can check for yourself in the issue to see just how that race ended up this year.
Interesting. Of course, it'll reflect some of the consolidation we saw last year. We're already seeing some. We had, I think, an agronomy get together in the Pacific Northwest.
You're talking about Valley Agronomy and Wilco?
In Wilco.
Yeah, actually both will be on the top 100 this year as separate entities because their merger doesn't go into effect until January 1st. But again, Paul, another of the long line of consolidations we've seen in the cooperative marketplace.
Yeah, so need a scorecard these days. So any other big news from your perspective happening in the retail world?
Sure. Two other things to share this week. Number one, last week I had the pleasure of hosting a webinar with a couple of extension folks talking about weed resistance across the country. And as we were talking during that webinar, it was mentioned about the fact that there was high hopes being held out for the dicamba-resistant cropping systems coming from Monsanto. They weren't approved, but lo and behold, as we ended the webinar last Wednesday, the 9th of November, we found out that, lo and behold, the EPA has signed off. So now XtendiMax and its cropping systems will be available for farmers in 2017. Now, Monsanto has added that they need to get state approvals yet. However, they're hopeful that as of next year, Paul, we'll see about 15 million acres of dicamba-resistant soybean being planted and 3 million acres of dicamba-resistant cotton in the field. So
interesting. Lots more opportunity, also things for retailers to be aware of and cautious over with all the different cropping systems going out there now.
Yeah, and the only other thing to share is, of course, we've been following all the mega mergers going on in crop protection. We had word from our sister publication, Agribusiness Global, that it looks like ChemChina and Sinochem might be getting together at the tail end of 2017 to form a $100 billion conglomerate company in the crop protection marketplace. And as everyone will remember, of course, ChemChina is the one that is merging with Syngenta, and they're expecting that deal to close sometime in the first part of 2017. So, Paul, the consolidation game continues.
Yes, the beat does go on. One last thing to mention is that we're continuing our innovation series. February 22nd is the date. We're going to be back in St. Louis, again near the airport. The focus is really going to be on the retail channel and the technology issues, the sales and marketing and building precision programs. We're really going to dig deep into that into the retail side. So the folks at CropLife, you should be watching for that and be aware that that's something that you may want to consider attending as the agenda kind of shapes up in the next couple of weeks.
Sounds good.
So that's it for this edition of CropLife Retail Week. Again, a wonderful, happy Thanksgiving to everyone, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks.